I know you've had this feeling before when you've looked at a marketing report that comes to you and the ROAS or the return on ad spend looks super healthy. And they're telling you that this is an indicator of good business health and marketing efficiency. But when you look at your revenue over the last 12 months, it's essentially the same despite a few ups and downs. The problem is this: you probably have no idea if that return on ad spend is coming from new customers or from the same people who are just buying from you again and again. And that's because most expert marketers, even, and definitely owners, would not think to look at those two things specifically. So when you're questioning whether your business is growing or not, I'm here to tell you that you've got the right instinct. So if you're questioning whether your business is truly growing or not, I'm telling you, you've got the right instinct to question that. If your revenue is staying relatively flat, even though your return on ad spend looks healthy. The reason that feeling of yours doesn't go away is that the data that you're looking at in a marketing report genuinely cannot answer the question that you are asking yourself. I'm Erin Cardoni. I'm the founder of Legendary Ecom Growth Partners. We are a Vancouver-based agency that works exclusively with DTC supplements brands, helping you grow profitably using what we call the marketing math framework. I'm the host of The Active Ingredient. This is our YouTube channel created specifically for DTC supplements brands to be more profitable. I'm also a former Shopify brand owner that did a successful exit. And so I know what it's like to sit on both sides of this problem. So what I'm going to share with you today in our video is not just agency theory, it's what the research says and what the data shows and what we're hearing from real conversations with other DTC supplement brand owners about why supplements brands are budgeting incorrectly and what you can do instead. Let me explain to you why a standard monthly marketing report can't tell you whether your brand is growing or not, because it's not obvious, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. A supplements brand with 1,500 new subscribers in your recharge app or whatever, and a healthy repeat purchase rate can hold revenue completely flat for 6 months or so without requiring to add a single new customer into the mix. And that's because subscribers reorder and loyal customers come back. So your revenue looks fine. Your return on ad spend or your ROI on advertising looks good on the marketing budget. But I want you to hear this. If your situation looks like that, your brand is not growing. It's maintaining. And the ROI or ROAS that you see is a lie. This is a sign of a visibility problem, okay? And it's not your fault because you have no visibility of whether your customer base is actually getting bigger. Marketing reports measure the total marketing efficiency that's going on, but they really don't say anything about whether the people who are generating that revenue for you are new or returning customers. And this is what you need to know. For supplements brands making budget decisions based on those numbers, every call you make about where to spend and how much is wrong. The only one number that answers that question is tied specifically to new customer acquisition. And even more specifically, it's whether there's a return on your investment into acquiring new customers via your paid channels. That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So for us marketers, we calculate this using the revenue from first-time buyers only. I'm talking about your ROAS or return on ad spend. First-time buyers only divided by the advertising spend attributed to acquiring them. And we need to exclude any repeat customers from that equation. Most supplements brands, unfortunately, are not tracking this. And that single gap is driving more budget misallocation than almost anything else that I see. New customer ROAS or new customer return on ad spend strips out returning customer revenue out of the equation entirely. Okay, so what's left is a really direct read on whether your paid channels are generating net new demand and net new purchases for your business, Or largely, are they just recapturing demand or purchases that would have already existed? The gap that happens between any kind of overall or what we call blended ROAS and any new customer ROAS for an established supplements brand is often really significant. It could be 30 to 50% in a lot of cases. Think about what that means in practice. So if you're evaluating or thinking whether to increase your advertising spend on, say, Meta, for example, based on a blended ROAS number, and that channel looks strong because your subscribers are clicking through and reordering from your Meta ads, you might actually make the decision to scale your Meta budget when it's actually generating no new customer growth whatsoever. The number that you used justified that decision, but the business didn't benefit from it. Your new customer ROAS tells you 3 things that the blended ROAS never can. Number 1 is which channels are genuinely bringing in customers that haven't purchased before from you. Number 2 is which channels are largely recapturing demand from people who are already in your ecosystem. Number 3 is whether your acquisition spend is building the business or maintaining it. If you haven't been tracking your new customer ROAS separately from existing customers, then the starting point is audience exclusions on every prospecting campaign that's running. You need to exclude customers who've purchased in the last 180 days, let's say at minimum, because without that, you're really measuring something closer to total demand capture than genuine acquisition. And if your marketing team can't produce new customer ROAS separated from existing customers when you ask for it, then that is the most important change that can be made before you do your next budget decision. Once you have your new customer ROAS as the lens, then the channel budget decision looks completely different because the question that you're answering is different. The wrong question is which channel produced the best ROAS last month. And the right question is which channels are producing new customers at a cost that my customer lifetime value can support. And how much do I need to spend on each one of those in order to hit my customer target for the year? So in order to help you make that call, I built you a completely free tool specifically made for DTC supplements brands in that revenue range of $1 to $5 million annually who feel stuck in that range. It's called the Supplements Marketing Budget Workbook. You can grab it from the link in the description and make a copy of it to start using it today. That question about which of your channels is producing the right new customers is what the Channel Budget Planner in tab 3 of the workbook is all about. For each channel, you enter 2 things, your annual budget and the target new customer count. The implied cost per customer acquired calculates for you automatically. You're also going to enter the ROAS that you expect that channel to produce, and you can use numbers from your recent marketing reports to fill that in if you're not sure. It's okay to estimate this if you don't know the exact number. That sequence really matters because most brands set their budget first and see what the cost per acquisition is going to come out as. But the Channel Budget Planner totally inverts this. You set the new customer target first, and the budget derives from what it costs to hit it. This brings up a few things that the standard budget allocation doesn't achieve. Okay, so first is whether your new customer targets are actually coherent across your marketing channels. If you're targeting 600 new customers from Meta ads and 150 from Google ads, let's say, does the total budget you've allocated actually support those numbers at a realistic cost per customer acquired? Most brands tend to find gaps when they run this explicitly for the first time. Secondly, Meta Advantage Plus campaign situation are worth calling out specifically, and I've mentioned this in past videos. These campaigns are very good at finding conversions, but they're also really good at finding your existing customers because existing customers convert at a lower cost. So if your team is using Advantage Plus campaigns without explicit audience exclusions and a new customer target built into the setup, then the algorithm here is going to optimize your campaigns for the cheapest conversion available. And generally speaking, that tends to be existing customers, not new ones, which is going to stall your growth. The channel budget planner forces a new customer target by channel. If Meta can't hit that target, then that's a structural problem that you need to fix before adding budget. Tab 4 of the workbook is where the visibility problem gets fully resolved. It's the tab that separates what's actually happening in your business from what blended reporting is making it look like. It starts by separating monthly revenue into two columns: new customers and returning customers. You enter the orders, the average order value, and the revenue for each group separately. Blended figures calculate as the outputs. New customer ROAS and returning customer ROAS calculate independently. Blended ROAS is the result, not the starting point. That inversion is the whole point. Blended ROAS as a starting point hides the picture, okay? Blended ROAS as an output derived from two independent calculations shows it. The customer lifetime value model in the lower half of the tab runs two calculations side by side. There's subscriber lifetime value and one-time buyer lifetime value, using your actual average order value, gross margin, and average annual order frequency for each customer type. The difference and multiplier columns here show the subscriber versus one-time buyer value gap as a specific dollar figure and a ratio. For most supplements brands, that gap runs between 3 times and 5 times. Seeing it as a number rather than a concept changes how you think about what your acquisition channels should be optimized for. If you're acquiring customers at a really strong cost per acquisition, but a low subscription attach rate, then you're getting the cost right, but the customer type wrong. That's not a spend problem. That is a creative and maybe an offer problem, and it's only really visible when you're looking at the right data. The CAC payback period is calculated separately for subscribers and one-time buyer acquisition. It tells you how many months you have to recover acquisition cost from each customer type's gross margin contribution. A subscriber payback period of 4 months versus a one-time buyer payback period of 11 months is not an academic comparison for a bootstrapped brand that's managing cash flow really carefully. The difference determines how aggressively you can scale. Tabs 3 and 4 of the Supplements Brand Marketing Budget Workbook are built specifically to resolve that visibility problem for you. There's the Channel Budget Planner, which ties every dollar of your spend into a new customer target. The New Customer Math tab separates out what's actually happening in acquisition from what blended reporting is making it look like. Both are completely free inside of the workbook. You can start using it today, and the link to do that is in the description. I also created 2 guides to help you with the workbook, and both of them are linked below. One covers the framework behind the Supplements Brand Marketing Budget Worksheet to explain the theory in more depth, and the other is really a how-to step-by-step guide to walk you through how to use it. Subscribe to The Active Ingredient if this video made you question your marketing at all. I publish about once a week, and every single video is made specifically for DTC supplements brands who want to grow on their own terms. In next week's episode, I'm going to do a full walkthrough of the Supplements Brand Marketing Workbook, tab by tab. It's going to show you what to fill in, where to find that data, and what the workbook gives you back. So you're definitely not going to want to miss that one. Hit the subscribe button now so you don't miss it. I will see you then.